Right, folks, welcome back to the Two Burns Cinema Club podcast with myself, James Burns, and my brother, Ewan Burns. How you doing? Episode 3 now. We're getting long break since episode 2. Longer than we were hoping for, but just time commitments and being in different locations. It just hasn't been able to happen, has it, unfortunately?
It's just been busy, hasn't it, the last few weeks, really, I'd say.
That's true, but the weather's been very nice recently, so who wants to watch films anyway? We do, and we're going to talk about them today.
Who wants to go to a hot cinema and watch films when it's...
Well, we did actually. Yesterday, we watched Lilo and Stitch.
It was cold in that cinema. It was freezing.
Yeah, we'll move on to that after, but first, we can talk about a film that I think... How long ago did you see it?
It would have been a few weeks ago now, probably.
Yep, so Thunderbolts, Marvel's newest release into cinemas, starring Florence Pugh, David Harbour, Sebastian Stan, yeah. And we're going to talk about, is Marvel back?
No,
it's like
it's not back, is it?
But firstly, what did you think of Thunderbolts?
You know, I actually really enjoyed it. Like, it was just, I felt like it was something that you could just, it didn't really need to be connected to this whole universe of everything. I felt like it could work as a standalone film, which I think in superhero films, we need more films that work as a standalone. I think people are bored of this whole, it's got to connect to the next film. I know it does with certain aspects of it, but a lot of the time it's just like, I think people want that kind of distance from the main universe of stuff.
Yeah, they want something good on its own.
Especially for the main plot as well.
Especially since Endgame, especially since the whole big community, like, ending of that.
Yeah.
And they've not really been able to gain the same momentum with the movies since then. But to me, I'm going to say this is probably the best Marvel film for me since Guardians 3. I can't think of... And I know that was only a few years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, was it?
Yeah, probably about 3 years ago, I reckon.
And that wasn't like incredible or anything, but I enjoyed that. I think a lot of people enjoyed that. But since then, for me, I know you had Spider-Man No Way Home. I don't know if
that was good, but that was also a bit of a nostalgia bait kind of thing.
Yeah, to me it wasn't. I personally can't get behind like the multiverse stuff. It's too much like where you've got a plot device there. It's like, oh, we can get you out of anything.
It feels like it's trying too hard. It's in a way, it's just a get out of jail card for a lot of situations, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind bringing like space into it. I think that makes sense. The transition into Guardians of the Galaxy and opening up their world to space made sense. Of course, not going to be the only planet with superheroes, the only planet with things going on. It makes sense, but the whole multiverse stuff, to me, is a bit far-fetched. Again, it's a plot device that can get you out of anything. It sort of makes everything indestructible in a way. I'm not a fan of it. Are you? Do you?
I like having those different scenarios, but like after a while, it's kind of like,
I feel like they've been and done. It hasn't worked for me. Anyway.
I mean, I think we are going to get more of it. I think, but maybe not to the.
Do you think?
Yeah. Kind of Secret Wars, kind of the whole plot of like Secret Wars in the comic. So like Secret Wars is what like the next Doomsday and the next Avengers is all based upon, and pretty much in that comic, 2 like multiverses are like meant to collide, and only one can survive. Pretty much, I think this is right. So pretty much the whole point of Secret Wars is like you have 2 universes fighting against each other. So you might have like the X-Men versus Avengers or something. Yeah. So that's kind of how it works in the comics, I think. Don't quote me.
Again, they could do it well maybe, and it could be good. But for me, it's like I'm just tired of the multiverse stuff. I just want. I think this film was showing a movement away from that.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it all looks well and good. And I feel like, how do you think Thunderbolts did? Like, do you know how it did, like, commercially?
I know. I think it did quite well critically. People were saying it.
Yeah.
I don't think many people were raving about it. I don't think.
No, I think people were raving about it. To be honest, I think people like rate it quite highly, which I do get. I think it's also a level of that is people have been kind of starved of stuff like this for a while. They feel like they're finally getting something they want, and it's just. I'm not sure about the marketing for it. How they had like 2 stages in marketing, didn't they? They had the kind of Thunderbolts thing, and then they kind of switched it to the New Avengers thing, didn't they?
I didn't see.
Have you not seen? So it's like this stuff like billboards being pulled down of it saying instead of Thunderbolts like New Avengers underneath it and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the film again, they very much were pushing.
Yeah.
pushing that these are the new Avengers.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're going to be called the new Avengers, because to me that sounds silly.
Sounds shit, doesn't it?
It does sound shit.
Yeah.
Thunderbolts, why can't that just be the name?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, the whole point of like Thunderbolts was because of the guy Thunderbolt Ross, who was Red Hulk. So that's where that name originally comes from.
It came from like the football team.
Yeah, but like that's what it's.
Oh right.
Most of the time, it comes from that.
In comics.
Yeah.
In the original.
Yeah.
Name. Yeah, I mean, I thought this film was. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. I thought Florence Pugh was great. I thought
David Harbour, good.
actually, he was so funny.
Yeah,
like genuinely actually funny. Not even like
not even yeah, not Marvel funny. A lot like this. Like sometimes it's a bit too gaggy and all this, but
yeah,
this was like
genuinely quite funny. And I think, yeah, I mean, the Bob thing with him being like almost indestructible, I was like,
kind of.
I didn't really like that bit, but the whole message and the plot about the film's core message was really good. Like it hit the emotional beats.
I think a lot of the time, I feel like we saw this within Guardians. We saw like these proper emotional beats, and I think this is what gets people. And I think
that's definitely from Guardians 3 with the Rocket Raccoon and stuff.
Yeah, like
people didn't.
But I think it does. I think people want emotions in their film. They don't want to. You don't want to see someone and feel nothing after watching it. And like, I know it's quite like it's hard to get like meaning as much into a superhero film.
But they did it quite well.
But I think it did.
Like, Florence Pugh, Yelena is estranged. She's stuck in this job. She's clearly like a story of depression. Isn't it?
Yeah.
She's depressed. They sort of position it as like stuck in this void.
Yeah.
And same with Bob, and then there's that coming together and the relationship with her dad. And I think it's just a good message in the film. Like, generally just makes sense, and yeah, and I really enjoyed it. And to me, it did remind me of the first Guardians. This band of like misfits put together, and they're a team. Like even from the start, they were like, "Oh, we're not a team," but they were very much hammer home. We're not a team.
I think
it followed
took
that
tropes from that, didn't it?
Surely, yeah.
I mean,
but that is a gun trope.
I mean, I don't know if you've seen, but the director of this, I can't remember his name, but he is stapled to be the next X-Men director. Because I know that's all on like. Cause I have actually got a list of the upcoming projects coming out. So we got.
What is the next? Obviously, we got Fantastic Four.
So we got Fantastic Four July 2025, Doomsday May 2026. Then you've got Spider-Man in between that. So my theory is that Spider-Man isn't going to be in Avengers Doomsday, and then
What do you mean? Spider-Man's not going to be? Oh, Spider-Man's not going to be in Avengers.
No, and then he's going to do something's going to happen in Spider-Man Brand New World, Brand New Day, and he's going to get introduced into Secret Wars. Right, I think. Okay.
And when's this Avengers film come out?
The last one comes out in 2027.
When's the first one come out?
2026.
So next year.
Yeah, May 1st.
Okay.
So and then after that we've got like the new X-Men are going to be introduced.
So when we're talking about Avengers, this is Thunderbolts, and they're the Avengers.
No, because it's like, do you know? So in the post-credit scene, it spoke about how there's like the Avengers.
Yeah, I didn't quite get that with the that's something about Sam Wilson, which is obviously Falcon or Captain America.
That felt weird. That felt a bit petty, didn't it? I don't know. It just felt.
Yeah, I didn't really get it. Like, we'll see where they go with that. But yeah, that's a good sort of setup to like, obviously Captain America, the fourth one was pretty mid, wasn't it? Yeah. It was quite safe.
Oh, I mean, the last 5 Marvel films, you had Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
I think pretty decent, pretty good, I'd say.
Yeah.
Then you got
Captain
which I think is fine.
Middle of the road, fine. Didn't really add much.
You got Deadpool and Wolverine.
Good, but again,
pretty good.
But
I think that was also, it was a multiverse, but it was kind of definitely on its own thing with like the X-Men kind of track.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we'll see more of that in the future. I think we'll see Deadpool again at some way.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then we had I don't know if it's Marvels or
I have still never seen that.
Yeah, don't bother. Yeah,
it's never seen it.
Well, to be fair, it did really bad. Commercially awful. It had a budget of 370 million. Didn't make anything back really. I think it made 200 million, which I did not see that in cinema. And
on Disney Plus.
I watched it on Disney Plus. So it's like, but yeah. And then the thing is, I did see, like, for money wise, Thunderbolts is the second lowest ever.
Ever?
Yeah. for an MCU film.
Still going to be gaining now, isn't it?
Yeah. But I think that just shows that everyone says this whole Marvel back thing.
The second lowest ever. That's exactly what I was going to say. Does this not say Marvel are back as they once were, because they're not like the same cultural.
I think it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I'd say it's a step in the right direction, but they're certainly not back yet, are they? It's gonna. I think this is a good setup for Fantastic Four.
I think if Fantastic Four is really good, I think people are going to get invested back into like Avengers.
You know, it's got like Pedro Pascal and big actors.
The thing is, I've seen a lot, like the directors have been saying, like apparently these new Avengers, apparently like it's not. This is like the beginning of a new saga, kind of what they've been saying. So like these films are gonna kind of set up the next generation of like I assume it's just gonna be all about the X-Men, the next saga, which is good because I love the X-Men.
What even happened? Another question, bit sort of unrelated. What happened to? Is it Kang from Ant-Man? Obviously, is it Jonathan Majors?
Yeah.
Got some. I don't know what he's done, so I can't say anything. But I know he's basically been cancelled.
I think I know what it is, but I don't want to. I think it was essay
or something like that. And yeah, but I'm obviously that there was a direction there with Kang, and that's stopped now.
I mean, I'm kind of glad because like Doctor Doom is a better villain as a whole. I think.
Speaking of Doctor Doom, how are they going to do that with RDJ, Robert Downey Jr.? How are they going
to be honest, I'm in the camp of I don't like the Robert Downey Jr. thing as Doctor Doom because I think he kind of takes away this whole the Doctor Doom character is just gonna be wasted as Robert Downey Jr., which is like it just doesn't feel right. It should be his own actor, his own character. But I mean, I'm sure it's been done for a reason. We're gonna find out why.
It's done for some kind of,
which also could be interesting. But I would like to see as well a Doctor Doom who's just pure evil, like played by someone else.
It's got to be done for some reason. They can't just be like, oh, he looks the same, and we're just going to ignore it.
Yeah, that's not going to happen, is it?
No, like it's going to be it's going to be multiverse related or something like this.
We will find out. I know that, but it's just like I'm not a huge fan of it, to be honest.
No, but it will. If again, from what we say is a step in the right direction for Marvel, and if Fantastic Four builds on that, it will put a lot of anticipation, him coming back into Marvel. It could sort of get into that peak sort of cultural space again that it was on the, on the lead up to Endgame. That's when it was like peak Marvel, wasn't it? Like they could put out anything and it's
like Captain Marvel. On paper, it's not a great film. I think Ant-Man and the Wasp not a great film.
But they've all made a lot of money.
I guarantee. I think Captain Marvel made $1 billion. I doubt Ant-Man did, but like, didn't make that.
Even that Doctor Strange, the third one,
that did well. So they just had the momentum. I feel like that momentum is going, but like it could go back up. But
the momentum is definitely gone for sure. Maybe oversaturated with some Disney Plus shows in there as well.
I think but they've come out and admitted that now. They know they did wrong with all that. They were putting too much content out there. Even your biggest Marvel fan isn't going to watch it. I'm a big Marvel fan.
Yeah. And have you seen Moon Knight? Have you seen She-Hulk?
Well, like you try watch it, and then like sometimes the issue is a lot of these Disney shows. It's too much filler.
Yeah.
If you look at watch like I know it's a bit like Mandalorian for example. It's just all filler. It's always you got big long shots for like 5 seconds just to carry it all out, and then it's like watching a video game being played for something like the Mandalorian. It's like, oh, my ship's broken.
Yeah.
I need something to come fix it. Oh, I can fix it for you, but you need to do this for me.
You need this part.
Yeah.
You need this gubbin.
And the only way you can get this part is by, it's just
going to this planet.
Yeah, it very much feels like that.
Yeah. I mean, well, I guess we'll conclude the sort of Marvel chat there, that maybe it isn't quite back yet, step in the right direction. But yeah, we enjoyed the film. Just moving on to Disney once again, very Disney themed episode this week. Lilo and Stitch, another live action edition to the Disney catalogue. We both saw this yesterday, so it's fresh in the minds. And yeah, I hadn't seen the original until a week ago.
Yeah.
I seen it and I really loved it.
So for me, this was like one of the childhood films, and I was very excited about this because like as soon as I saw this was coming out, I'm like, this is gonna make money.
Yes.
The amount of Stitch stuff you see about and like
it's
just
everywhere. Walk into Primark, and you'll just see him. I mean, Adam, my friend, somehow didn't know what Lilo and Stitch was, and to me, that's even as someone who hadn't seen the original, that's crazy because he's just everywhere.
But I feel like people are more like to know. People are more like to know who Stitch is than Lilo and Stitch as a film.
Exactly.
He's honestly bigger as a character than he is as a film. But like that doesn't really apply here because it's going to the Stitch part is going to carry the film really.
Yeah, obviously.
And
when he's the one like animated.
And honestly, it was good. Like the emotion,
pleasantly surprised. Yeah,
emotional beats hit. I thought there was some parts was sad, and then, it did kind of pull on your emotion, like your emotions.
But we thought the actress who played the sister was good.
Is it Nanny?
Nanny, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know the actress.
We don't know the actress name, but she was quite good, and we thought that. Well, I think there was more of a focus on her story this time, about her studies, about like her goals, which makes sense because. Well, Lilo's just a kid, isn't she? And like, the real burden is about what's being obviously left on the family, but also the sister. I think a lot of it in the original was just focused on Lilo.
It doesn't think about how the sister has to deal with.
It's very much from Lilo's point of view. Yeah. But I think this time we saw both point of views, didn't we, more? Which, to me, was quite a good addition. With the extra 20 minutes, I think it was 25 minutes of runtime was worth it.
I liked all the changes that was made to it, to be honest. Yeah. And like, some of them, like, it's just stuff like the big alien guy, he's cut. But like we were saying this as we walked. I was like, he's been cut. I mean, like, didn't need him, did he?
I don't know his name. The one that the High Lord Commander commands to do commanding stuff. Yeah. But he never does actually anything. He's just responsible for.
Yeah.
And obviously the aliens went on the planet and they sort of changed, didn't they, into human form. We said maybe to save some money.
I would say look,
also because it makes sense.
There's a few reasons, isn't there? Realistically, it's probably to save money, but then you've got the fact of it's easier to like have two aliens masked as humans in something that's animated, isn't it? Yeah. When you're actually like,
and it adds a comedic value as well.
Yeah,
an extra layer of comedy. I mean, there's already that layer of comedy, like fish out of water. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But then you've got that double jeopardy when they're a human as well, and you've got the humour from that.
It's just too far-fetched to have an alien out in just human civilization.
I know you had Stitch, but obviously he can sort of look like a dog. He doesn't look like a dog. But like,
you've got to play with it, haven't you? You can only like...
Yeah, it's still a Disney film at the end of the day, but it's a lot more feasible than doing that. Obviously, as with changes, they had the security guard, not security guard, CIA guy wasn't like a former CIA. He was a CIA guy and not the social worker. Instead, he was going undercover.
But I think that made more sense.
It worked again. It did work, and it's subtle changes. I think the end scene was a bit different with the changing of.
Yeah, Stitch. So like there wasn't. So there's a whole like underwater thing and all that, and that's different. But I think it works, and I think
was Nani the one to save Stitch in the original? Like swim down and save. Because that, to me, that end scene was all lead on her. Like,
I feel like maybe.
So, the way it played in this one anyway was like, she was never convinced by Stitch to be good to begin with. And that was like, this is right, I'm saving him. Also showed like her swimming ability that like sort of built up in a way.
Yeah.
It made sense. All the changes to me made sense. Was it as good as the original? I don't think so. Just because it's just tighter. To me, it was... The original was a lot funnier. I don't know, it just comes with animation.
But I think that's just animation because it's just like, it's just
over the top, slapstick. I don't know, it worked better in animated form just because. But again, it was good live action, and I had no complaints.
But I think also because it looked like it's like the what's the word aesthetic of it, isn't it? And the whole like
Hawaiian, yes.
It doesn't look as good when like you got a Hawaiian town. It's more like it doesn't look as colourful, does it? And like it can look a bit grayer.
But I mean, they can still make it look like that. It's just like I just think some things just work better as animation than this did. And again, they barely changed much, did they? So when you basically just watch the same film twice, like,
well, did you think literally watching like the day before or whatever? Did you not feel like it?
It felt like.
Did it feel fresh still?
It felt very fresh, so I could compare it very well to like the original.
I do kind of wish I watched it before now, just so I could get that kind of point of it.
But in a broader scheme for Disney, this I don't know how it's done critically or commercially.
I think it's too early, I'd say.
It only came yesterday, didn't it?
I just been IMDb.
Yeah.
For just
just to get a general consensus of what
See,
people are
we'll
thinking.
change what we say.
Should we? Oh, no, we've said what we said. I'd give it a 7 out of 10, something like that, and I'd say that's probably what the general consensus is.
What are you saying?
It's probably like a 7.5. Is it 7 out of 10?
7.2.
Yeah,
Which I think is probably fair.
that's fair. Yeah. Whereas I'd give the original like 8, 9, or something like that. Like as an animated film, it's just really good. Yeah. There was like a lot of kids in our cinema. I couldn't tell if they were sort of losing focus a bit.
That's what I would say. There's a lot of kids like just wandering around the cinema, wasn't there?
I don't know if that's just kids being kids or it wasn't quite
7.3, they realised.
Yeah, or if it wasn't just quite transfixed on the screen.
I didn't think this, but I was like,
because often kids is the market that Disney is going for.
This did cross my mind as I was watching it. I saw these kids all crying around us. I was like, maybe they're not fan.
Again, Stitch, very marketable.
I mean, clearly a fake fan. There was this girl, she had a Stitch backpack on, but there was crying. I mean, it just doesn't really make sense to me.
Well, was this a scene where Stitch was sort of like getting mistreated?
No.
Yeah, well, Stitch, again, very marketable. You can see why they've turned it into a live action. We saw that popcorn bucket.
Oh, God.
Was it 35 quid? There's a little Teddy Stitch attached to a popcorn bucket. But again, Stitch, it's why they've made the film, isn't it?
I saw something, like, apparently Disney, like, at the parks, they want to replace Mickey Mouse with Stitch. I actually saw this, like...
Wow.
So, like, you know how, like, I don't know, we've got age ago, but you know when, like, Mickey, like, greets everyone?
Yeah.
Apparently they want to put Stitch there instead.
That's crazy, because Mickey Mouse is, like...
I know. It's kind of mad, isn't it?
Iconic figure. And again, like I say, my friend Adam didn't even know what Stitch was.
No.
Whereas everyone knows what Mickey Mouse is.
Yeah, but, like, I feel like people only know who Mickey Mouse is now because of theme parks.
Theme parks and, like... It's just known as it's iconic.
When you think of Disney, you think of Mickey Mouse. Even if most people have never seen a film with Mickey Mouse in, have they? I mean, I can't say I probably watched
Mickey Mouse's Clubhouse.
I watched that.
Come inside and have some fun. It is.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think on the grand scheme of things, this is pretty successful with Disney, but taking a wider look at the live actions.
Where do you rank this? Like,
I haven't seen them. This thing, they don't interest me.
No.
Aladdin, we've had,
I think
we've had 2 Lion King films now.
I think the Lion King one did, but the original did.
I didn't like the original Lion King that much because, again, the problem when you make it like a David Attenborough documentary is you don't see any emotion on the face of the lion.
It's hard to like get this. It's hard to get this kind of
emotional beats
and like cartoonish and like fun and over the top look onto something that looks extremely real.
Yeah. Is there any other?
Jungle Book. I think Jungle Book's a really good one.
I think that was one of the first, wasn't it? If not the first, I think.
Yeah.
That and Beauty and the Beast. Apparently, I've been told that's quite good. That did well, didn't it?
Yeah, and I think Jungle Book, Lion King did well. Even Mufasa did well. I don't know about Aladdin, but I've watched that. It's all right. It's not great.
None of them are bad, are they?
They're not going to be bad,
apart from what I've heard about Snow White, and I think Snow White and The Little Mermaid didn't do great commercially. There was, again, I don't know why they sort of do it to themselves. This Snow White one was marketed terribly. We spoke about this on the first episode of the podcast. I don't know how it's done since overall. There's probably a better figure you can get with that. I don't know if you could get some
sort of how it's
sort of figures because at the time we were like, we'll have to wait and see. But I don't think it's been that successful, has it?
I doubt it. But like, I feel like they do it to themselves. Like,
yeah, you had a lot of like.
So it apparently made 204 million.
Off a budget of.
And the Disney film is projected to lose around 150 million.
Yeah, that is bad when you've got a thing as well known as Snow White getting, if not, it's like one of the biggest things ever, franchise ever, changing the dwarfs as they did. Like,
I know this is stupid, but I think people need to take a leaf out of my grass book. Keep it simple.
Give the fans what they want.
Play it on the floor.
Yeah. I think that's what Lilo and Stitch did, to be honest.
It changed just enough to make it feel like something new and something different. I mean, I haven't watched Snow White, but I know there's a lot of big changes from the original story. Yeah, big changes.
So, like Rachel Zegler kept saying in the promo, this isn't 1937 anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
Hitler was not in charge.
We get that. It's not 1937. You can make subtle changes, but big changes that are going to annoy fans, like taking out dwarfs when the 7 dwarfs were pillars of Snow White.
Well, the dwarfs were added back in though, I thought.
And again, that's fine. Change the Little Mermaid to a different race.
But there was like
change how she looked. You can't change a character called Snow White and not make her pale. It just doesn't make sense. Like,
I think they were just like they were trying so hard to be like, even like the dwarf things. Like there was a whole thing before it even came out where they were like cast dwarf actors and all this, wasn't there?
it was about Peter Dinklage.
And then he said no, didn't?
Peter Dinklage, obviously, probably definitely the most well-known dwarf actor in the world. Sort of spoke out against him, but just because.
But he was saying because like, oh, it's kind of they're meant to be funny and kind of like jokey, isn't it? That's what
dwarfs should be taken seriously. Like but this is Peter Dinklage, who's in a position where he can take the projects that he wants. He can take the projects where you watch his film. The fact he's a dwarf isn't mentioned really, unless it's like a big.
Because in Game of Thrones, surely.
Oh yeah, in Game of Thrones it is for sure. And yeah, the dwarf thing's mentioned, but it's never made as like a fun thing.
Yeah, but then it's like, but it's on the other side of it. It's like some big actor could get their break from that.
Exactly.
Someone like, somebody could get a big chance from that,
a dwarf actor, yeah. Again,
a lot of people were like, a lot of dwarf actors were saying this.
Yeah,
it's like kind of privilege, is it? Like
actors have come out and said this. So yeah, I don't know why he makes it change. Again, I just want to see new projects from Disney. I don't want to see live actions. Every other film they bring out is a live action right now.
Should we have a look at like Disney's like next few releases and just see like
name a film to me they brought out that wasn't live action recently? We know we're getting Moana, a live action one, aren't we? We're getting Moana 2, and then we're getting a Moana live action.
Okay,
is that
so
right?
we've got Eli?
Yeah, was that a Pixar film?
I don't know. June 3rd. Tron.
That's coming out.
So that's the sequel, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think, or prequel or whatever it is. And then you got Zootopia.
Yeah.
2.
Zootopia 2, yeah.
Toy Story 5. Moana live action. Don't know really. That's kind of it.
When was the last time?
Frozen 3. Incredibles 3. Bambi live action. Hercules live action.
We're getting Incredibles 3.
Yeah, you know that.
I didn't know that. No.
Well, it's not like there's not a date to it yet. But these are
confirmed it's happening. Bambi live action.
Yeah, I didn't even know about that. I can't lie. The thing is, a lot of these will get cancelled because that's what happens to these Disney and Marvel projects. Like anything Disney, like a lot of these projects do get cancelled. Like look at Blade. I don't know if you know anything about that, but it's supposed to come out like a few years ago and it's still in development, and like it's just been in development hell, as they call it, for just years and years.
Well, that happens, but it's just like, again, reading that list really is eye-opening, isn't it? Like, again, Lilo and Stitch probably going to make money.
Yeah, I would say.
I don't know if it'll be massive. Nothing's quite got to the Lion King level.
Kids films do well.
Yeah,
I think especially animated films, I think most of the time they're like guaranteed. If it's a big like it is in the DreamWorks and it's these big maybe prequels or whatever, they will do well. And the issue is with the animated ones, you can just keep doing them.
Yeah,
because it's not like you need the actors for it as well.
Yeah. You get
they can change actors, and all the time they do.
Yeah, they do. Or,
they
yeah,
do a
they
lot.
have the same actors. Do they really? Could we see? There hasn't been a Pixar live action, has there?
No, but I don't.
Are we going to see that?
Do you want a card like that?
I was just thinking.
How's that going to work?
How's a Ratatouille live action?
Yeah,
well, it definitely could work. But what would be the point?
I don't know how you do a Pixar live action. I'm trying to think of some. It's like Bugs Life, just a couple of ads.
You can say that about Lion King, couldn't you?
Yeah, I guess, but it feels a bit.
Because it's 2D animation, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why you can image it.
I think it'll do. What's it called? Uncanny Valley. You've heard of that? Like when it's like something looks just close enough, but just weird enough.
I think, yeah, the first one that's gonna be sort of like that will be Moana because that's 3D, isn't it? So will it be weird when we see it in live action?
No, Moana's not. Well, it's Moana's only like the other. That's not a Pixar film, Moana though.
Oh, is it not?
No. I think that's a Disney one.
Yeah, it is. But still, I don't know. I don't really want to see these films. I want to see something new. But they're safe bets.
What about Monsters University? Michael Zalski just getting high on campus.
Well, yeah. Well, instead of live action, can we just get like R-rated? Disney
R-rated.
adaptations?
What R-rated Disney adaptation would you like to see?
Isn't there like a Winnie the Pooh one? It's
I think there is.
He is a bit creepy.
What else R-rated? Disney. What could see something that could just get?
Don't know, like.
I think Monsters University could be good.
What, them just like shagging here at the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd watch it.
You can't say you wouldn't watch it.
Yeah. Anyway, I just think. Do you think it's a successful model in the long term?
I don't think in long term it's very good.
Is it working right now? Not. It's sometimes working. I think recent forms showed that it's starting to not work.
Yeah, but like the issue is when they've got all these old adaptions, they're gonna run out of stuff to do, aren't they? they're gonna no.
They're doing so many.
No, but let's say.
But their catalogue's so huge, they're never gonna run out.
They only have like so many big things, like really big things. Like you can't change. I just thought Up. That could be live action.
Yeah,
you could do that.
Again, that's Pixar.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying though.
Yeah,
but like, are we gonna get to the point where we're gonna have Moana live action, and then we're gonna get Moana 2 live action? Like, no, but are we though? Like,
that's what's happened with Lion King. That's a completely original story, isn't it?
Yeah, which I mean does. But is that?
I haven't seen it. Have you seen it? Have you seen that film?
Yeah, I've seen it. Honestly, it's just fine.
Just fine.
So mid.
I know there was a lot of memes about their brother. Like,
I don't hate that much. I don't actually.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm personally not a fan. Again, though, Lilo and Stitch to me was good, and I liked it. But if I had to, right, let me think about it right now. I've seen both of them back to back. If I had to go now and watch one of them, I'd stick on the original.
Yeah.
Every day of the week.
But that's not us hating on the film.
That's not. Yeah, that's. I
think that's just nostalgia. Well, it's not actually. It's not nostalgia for you because you watched it 5 days ago. Probably
it's just got more. I don't know. I don't know.
I think I also love the kind of style of how they like that kind of era of making animated films, and it's something that we just will never see again.
Yeah, they're drawn,
and I think it's a shame, really, because it just looks artistic. It's just iconic, isn't it? When I think of animation and like, it's that.
Yeah. Well,
Lion King and
they can definitely be different styles of animation that looks great. Like for example, that Flow film that looked beautiful about the cat.
That was done in a. That was kind of like a 50-50, wasn't it?
It looked very video gamey.
Yeah, which isn't a bad thing.
And then you've got sort of the Japanese style, like the Studio Ghibli films. Again, you can make animation great. I didn't see the Wild Robot, but again, I've heard great things about that.
I think the aesthetic of that looks nice as well.
Yeah.
Because I think that has a bit of a 2D feel. That's probably my favourite animated film in the last 5 years, I'd say.
That's fair enough, yeah.
I mean,
animated.
It's not even Disney. I'm just like, How to Train Dragon's coming out soon as well. We're going to be talking about live actions again. Exactly. But this isn't Disney. This is another company doing it now.
Works, yeah.
So it's just.
Well.
They're all on it.
Next we'll see Shrek, won't we? I think we've got Shrek 5 coming out, but will we see a Shrek live action?
I don't know if I could. No, because I think just
we get a DreamWorks Disney live action battle.
I think live action Shrek is too scary. No, but it is though.
Yeah,
because I think I don't know. It
just doesn't work.
I just don't. It's not gonna look. How do you do an ogre that looks realistic but not really scary for kids and stupid? And how do you do a talking donkey that doesn't look?
I mean, if it continues to work for Disney, I'd say it's just about working at the moment, maybe petering out. The next few will reveal it, won't they?
Yeah, I think the cracks will begin to show.
The cracks again, like they started to do with Marvel as they went down. Maybe we're on an upwards thing now, but they were on the cracks did start to show. Marvels, things like that.
I just hate the idea of remakes. It's like how we get a remake of Harry Potter. Like, it's barely dead.
Yeah.
Like, when did it finish? 2012? That's really not that long ago.
Yeah.
Like...
That doesn't need a remake, does it? Yeah.
It's just them being so desperate to try to keep the franchise alive.
Have we now got a generation of kids that are growing up on these live action ones?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it?
Oh, we've got our
dog's coming. Yeah, fuck up there. Yeah.
Yeah. Are these kids going it with it?
I know, but like when this new Harry Potter comes out, are these kids gonna grow up thinking that's Harry Potter? Is Daniel Radcliffe gonna be their Harry Potter? Probably not.
They've took an IP that's successful and now they're just recycling it again for new children.
I feel like eventually when like Marvel dies, we're gonna get like a 50th anniversary, and it's just all the Avengers just group up. They're all about 70. I feel like
what, like, as in like for Chris Hemsworth coming back like 80, it's like the old Avengers or something. Like,
it's gonna be like some comedy film, some shit.
Yeah, I mean, again, these films are like dominating the whole like cinema cycle right now.
We haven't had many like new releases like that haven't been like.
I'm trying to think what was like.
I said like he was gonna say Top Gun, but then like that was the sequel, wasn't it?
It's successful and a good sequel.
Yeah,
showed that you can do them right and do them well. But what I watched Nosferatu. That was pretty good.
Yeah, but it's I'm more saying huge commercial, like
these aren't
global success.
Yeah, like you can't do that anymore. You can't. In the 90s, it was sort of a prime time for cinema where
you could make a
90 million budget film and it could go massive.
You could make a Pulp Fiction, can't you?
Yeah.
Or the only ones I'd say do well are like Chris Nolan films
and Tarantino again.
Yeah, like
we've got that
these
established.
Big directors.
Yeah. Maybe Damien Chazelle, guy who made Whiplash and Babylon, what we're going to talk about.
Yeah,
and
but it's just like
La La Land.
I'm just thinking of something that's called big, culturally significant films in the last 10 years that aren't from one of these big like.
Yeah, there's been a few.
Well, they just like Disney and like Disney just control the market now, and like.
Well, they own Fox.
They own everything.
Yeah.
Like there's like, Star Wars is good. We'll buy that. Marvel's good. We'll buy that.
There's definitely been a few that slipped through the cracks. Well, there's still loads of great cinema out there.
Yeah.
But it's not.
But for example,
the great art stuff is not what's dominating the cinema sphere.
You don't get low budget films do well now, and I think that's what you're saying. From like in that there was an era where you can make a low budget film, maybe with one big star, and it do well. Which I just don't think people are interested enough now.
Well, he's got like, Wes Anderson is bringing a film out again. It'll probably do okay.
Yeah, but like,
make money.
I don't think they do that commercially. They probably critically, they probably do well.
Yeah, it'll do pretty well. It'll do decent. It'll make.
But
money.
it's the case of.
But it's not mega, is it?
It's like your big film fan seeing it.
Yeah.
But then is anyone else like your
average? Your
average Joe, isn't it? Like.
Yeah. Well, that's what Disney are great at getting the average Joe, and Disney. Like, oh my god, they're the most iconic thing ever. There's a reason they're in this position.
Yeah, no,
they made great stuff. How good is Lilo and Stitch? They had that. Well, in the 90s, that was a resurgence period for them, wasn't it? Lilo and Stitch, Lion King, Beauty and the Beast.
The thing is,
all these great films that are really.
It's that thing of everyone makes good stuff, but sometimes it's bad, isn't it? Like that. Yeah. That's just the case of it. Like we've seen Disney Star Wars, for example. There's been a lot of bad stuff in there, but we've seen some good stuff as well.
Yeah.
It's just making sure we're getting enough good stuff, which I think it's just a struggle.
The more bad stuff you get, the less likely.
Yeah, and it's just
get good stuff.
So it's just Star Wars. Star Wars is an absolute pit now, to be honest. Just because there's so much hatred. Like the only reason it's like Andor. I don't know if you heard about it, but that's like critically acclaimed, doing really well. But it costs like loads to make.
Why? But I've heard that it's very critically acclaimed, but not many people are seeing it, are they? No. Why is that? It's Star Wars.
Because
is it because it's so different?
I don't think it's not very Star Warsy.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing in a way.
Yeah.
Because we want real drama. We don't want. Sometimes it's good to not have a lightsaber flinging about all the time.
We've seen that before.
Yeah.
Science. Do we need to keep seeing it again? We want something different. We want something new.
We want drama, and like this was. I haven't really watched it, but I know like people saying there's something to do like essay in it, like. But it's like it's a war, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not going to just be all happy berry, is it? People want to see like this grittiness of an empire trying to take over the whole universe.
It's great that we get loads of Star Wars shows, but like you've got to make them different.
But you just get bored of it, don't you? It's the same. And for me, when I watch Star Wars, it looks it looks brilliant. But when I see some of the stuff now, it just doesn't feel or look the same.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, moving on, I think to two films. We're going to do sort of a relook thing here, sort of a segment we haven't really done before.
But we both watched a film this
We
week.
both watched long films this week.
Yeah, long.
There are standalone films by...
Actually, you know what? I've watched both. I watched
You watched it?
I watched both.
You watched it? Okay. That's good. We watched standalone films from very big directors that... Well, one film did very well, Oppenheimer. So you watched Oppenheimer and I've watched Babylon. It's just what we've happened to see recently. And we're sort of just going to have a revisit and look at them.
I think we should talk about Babylon first, because I think I love the whole thing around it, but there's just so many scenes where it's like, I don't need this.
Like, so those Danny's songs gone for ages, don't they?
It's like, this...
It is great, though. It's really like... It's got something about it. It's got the magic. Like, that scene when it all comes together at the end, when they're filming, they get the perfect light.
Yeah.
And he gets the camera. I think it's a good scene. There's really good bits. The party scenes are cool. I think it just needed a good edit. 3 years down, like cut about 20-30 minutes.
I just think there was so much stuff we just didn't.
So many characters, wasn't there? And stuff as well.
So like, let's be honest, you've got Margot Robbie's character, you've got Brad Pitt's character, and then you've got, I can't remember his name, but he's like
Diego Calva or something.
I think he's really good.
He's really good. I'm surprised I've not seen him in anything else.
I'm kind of disappointed I haven't, to be honest,
because the film didn't do very well.
But like, that wasn't him. I thought he was brilliant in it. He's the highlight of the film for me.
Yeah.
And saying that with Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie in, it's kind of crazy.
His storyline's good, isn't it? Like, you see this rags to riches story of him, someone who just loves cinema. It really is like one of these films, a bit like La La Land by the same director, a bit like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's like a sort of love letter to Hollywood and cinema, and it's like a film about films. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I do think overall it's really good, and I've really enjoyed it. There's just it captures like that magic of cinema quite well. And again, there are a bit weird bits in it with the crocodile and like the going down to get the money.
I get it. I get you're supposed to get a shot value, but it's just a bit like, I feel like you've probably seen this somewhere and you thought, oh, this would be cool because it's like a Hollywood film, isn't it? And like the music's really good in it. Yeah, I love the music. Like, I love that main theme.
Yeah,
it's like
the score is so good in that. There's no way this film, regardless of what you think, it's amazing, you think it's good, it's at least good.
Like, it could be great if it was like just cut down, some stuff was took out.
The fact it lost 15 million, it was a budget of 75 million and made 60 million.
That's nothing.
With Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie attached to it, plus the actor.
I don't feel like it wasn't marketed very well. Like, at the time, I don't remember people talking. Like, even
we saw it, didn't we? I don't really know why we saw it, but we did.
I watched it in Birmingham.
I don't know, yeah, but it was good. Like, I don't know. I don't really know why I didn't do too well. I think
it's the wrong time, isn't it?
The marketing, the lens.
It's 3 hours 20. That's a long film.
Yeah, but look at like La La Land, which was the same director, similar vibe, in sort of a love letter to like cinema, and that did really well.
Yeah,
just sort of a miss. But for me, I loved it. Solid, like 7 out of 10 film, 8 out of 10 film. Really, really enjoyed it. Moving on to Oppenheimer, again, another incredibly long film, but this one a lot more commercially successful.
Yeah,
potentially because it had the marketing of Barbie attached to it. Let
all the market, like Barbie, just do all the marketing.
Barbenheimer, yeah. And I mean,
what a great era for cinema that was.
Well, it was just a great one time. 2 standalone films coming out. Say what about Barbie? Yes, it's attached to an IP.
But it was great though. We watched Oppenheimer on the morning, I think it was.
Yeah.
Which one did we watch first? I think we watched Barbie first.
Yeah.
So we watched Barbie, then we went an hour break, and then you go watch Oppenheimer. It was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, I want something like that to happen again.
It'd be nice.
Really, listen,
it's camera's full. It's all right. It will just film what it's recorded so far.
What do we do?
Oh, just leave it. It'll be fine.
Will we record this?
Well, we got. Well, I'm just saying we'll have audio. Like, it's full. The camera is full.
Oh, okay.
So we can't. It doesn't matter.
All right.
But he's got everything from his, so it's just his little part.
Okay. Yeah, I just think it it was a great day for cinema, wasn't it? Really, and nothing's really captured that since, has it?
I think.
And
From speaking to someone who actually works at the cinema, they said that it's like the wildest they've kind of had it.
That's
I mean,
Minecraft maybe is
what I've done it for them, but
yeah, but that wasn't. I mean, that did make as much money, but it didn't have the same as everyone going on the same day.
No, I think that there was very much. There was like the whole debate. Oh, what do you watch first? Do you watch Barbie first? Do you watch Oppenheimer first?
It is crazy how a film like Oppenheimer did that well. Like, your average person does not want to watch a 3-hour film about a court case and the making of the atomic bomb, do they?
No. Which I like.
I mean, I would. The
reason I watched it recently is because I was watching some YouTube videos about the Manhattan Project. Yeah. So I was like, I want to watch.
Now you know more about it. You wanted to watch.
It.
Yeah.
So I was like, and it was just.
Did it hold up for you?
I actually enjoyed it more watching it now than I did the first time. I think.
Knowing a bit more about it.
Yeah, and I don't know. It felt a lot quicker, and it didn't.
It is 3 hours, but it does this well.
I remember coming out of watching it, and that last hour of it was a bit like it's all the court case and all that, and I felt like
I enjoyed that part,
but I don't remember enjoying that when I first watched it.
Yeah,
but I remember really enjoying it this time around. I felt like it really had the jeopardy of it, and I don't know if I remember watching it in the cinema. I thought I know like this is a Chris Nolan thing of like how the music's louder.
Yeah, it is too loud.
People talking, I don't like that.
It is too loud.
It really bugs me because it's like I can't hear.
I don't understand why they do that. You have to watch it with subtitles, really.
Yeah.
I guess it's to make you feel claustrophobic and everything, but
I know.
I want to just hear what
I want to know what they're saying.
Yeah.
And I think music is important in film. Don't get me wrong.
The score in it is really good.
Yeah.
As well. Like, yeah. The good parts of the film is the build up to the bomb, and then
like the bomb part is executed brilliantly. Like the way it's like this all build up and it's just silence, and then we get like the bang.
Also, just like the jeopardy of how big it is. They get that across quite well.
Yeah.
And how dangerous.
And I enjoy
the secretive of it as well. The last scene is just. I think that's some of the best writing in cinema. Like the way, did we destroy the world? I believe we did. I think that is just incredible finish. To a film like that, to have I've seen like Michael Bay edits of like his music, but it just you can't make it cringe, but it works so well with Einstein as well. It's just to me like, as Cillian Murphy's face, like such a conflicted face, like it works so well.
I like how it talks about how like the fact of whether they need to drop the bomb on like Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Like I think I like how it delves into that, and like there's like a group who think should this bomb, like the scientists who think the bomb should never be dropped.
Although 2 years later, I still sit there and I never really felt the urge to pop it on. But is that because it's so long? Is that because
I don't think it's? I mean,
I would watch it again now. To be fair,
yeah, but it's not just one of them where you go, "Oh, go on then."
You have to be properly.
You have to be like, okay, I'm gonna watch this, and like. You can't just, it's not one of these films where you think, it's not like a comedy where you just whack it on, just like, this is fun, isn't it? Like, it's not.
Obviously won all the Oscars, didn't it, as well? So, it is a great film, and is it Christopher Nolan's best film? Probably not.
No. But it's definitely up there.
And we've got his film coming out next year, Odyssey.
Got a lot of names in there.
Yeah, Tom Holland,
Matt Damon.
Zendaya in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember who else.
What do you think about that?
John Brolin as well.
Are you excited for that one?
Yeah, I don't know.
Again, Christopher Nolan has the gravitas of Disney or Marvel, but on his own. He has found the perfect spot in cinema.
I love how he can make. He doesn't even have to stick to his certain genre as well.
Yeah.
Like it's what his last 3 films. This Odyssey, Oppenheimer, Tenet.
Yeah.
Then it's probably Dunkirk, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or maybe something in between.
I guess 3 of them are like historical based. But
like it's completely different parts of history.
Completely different, yeah.
Well, I mean, you got 2 World War II films,
related films,
but like
they're completely different.
It's
different style,
opposite ends of the spectrum completely when it comes to the war. But then you've got Odyssey, which is history, but even further back, and it's completely different. Like
you do have, You do have themes that persist through his films, like the manipulation of time, things like that. Use of music. Yeah, what did you think of the black and white thing?
I can't remember. Wasn't the black? So like, isn't the black and white? What's that mean?
After the bomb.
I thought it meant something like. I remember hearing at the time like this, the black and white stuff is up for debate whether this happened. Is that a thing, or I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think that was the black and white is subjective, or something like that. Yeah, because obviously, if something's black and white, you don't know.
It's not black and white, is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Quite literally it is, but you can't see the colours. So
yeah, I think it's something like that. But like,
that's what
I think he did that as well because it's an easier understanding of like what's what
the time period. Yeah, it's good. It's a good film. Again, I'd up there.
Yeah.
Okay, if you had to pick between the two, I know completely different films: Babylon or Oppenheimer.
I probably have to do Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
I don't know which one.
You've watched both. Which one would you want to stick on?
Yeah. I feel like
Babylon feels. It makes you feel.
Probably Babylon, but like I still think Oppenheimer's a better film. But I'd rather maybe.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a better film, more put together.
But I'd rather watch Babylon right now.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
it's close. I don't know which one I'd stay.
Go on,
but yeah,
we'll put you on the spot. So
probably Babylon. Yeah. That's what I'm leaning towards, but it's close again. Even though we can't compare films like that. That's not the way to do it, I don't think. But yeah, that concludes episode 3, is it now?
Yeah, episode 3.
Of the Two Burns Cinema Club podcast. No new segment this week, but I think we got through Disney and
got through a lot of stuff.
Marvel. I think very relevant stuff at the moment in cinema. And yeah, goodbye, folks. Thank you for listening.
Bye.